Hi, fourth graders. It's Mrs. Mundorf here, back with your second science lesson for this week. We are going to start today with a review of yesterday's lesson. Again, the objective for yesterday was to observe the reflection of light. Keywords were reflect and reflection, and materials were the flashlight, mirror, sheet of paper, index card, and 2 paper or cardboard tubes, and tape if you need it for your paper tube. Step 1 said, hold a mirror in front of you and observe your image. What do you see? You should have written, I see my face, I see my reflection. Either of those answers would be correct. Step 2 says, change the angle of the mirror, but do not move your head, and again, observe what you can see. Again, that's when we had the mirror, and again, I used this cosmetic mirror, and you kept your head straight, but moved the mirror and observed what you saw. You had to try several different angles. And then the question was, where do you have to place a mirror in order to see your own reflection? The mirror must be right in front of my eyes. Step 3 and 4 involved shining the flashlight at the mirror, changing the angle of the flashlight, and also changing the angle of the mirror. Number 5 asked, what have you learned about how to aim the light by bouncing it off a mirror? The answer is the light bounces off the mirror away from the direction from which it is approached at a different angle. So here is an image that shows a flashlight hitting a mirror, and depending on the angle of the flashlight or the angle of the mirror, how the light might bounce off. Step 6 shows you how to set up your flashlight, your tubes, your mirror, and your index card. I provided an image of my setup, and this is what the experiment looked like from my end. You can see the light shining from the flashlight into the tube, hitting the mirror, going through this tube, and then the index card catching that path of light. For step 7, you were asked to trace the path of light in the diagram below using the arrow tool. Draw a light ray from its source to the mirror to the index card. Look at the red arrows I added to my slide to show the path of light. The beam of light leaves the light source, which is the flashlight. It travels through the first cardboard tube, hits the mirror, reflects at the same angle it strikes the mirror, travels through the second tube until it hits the index card. You may have needed to move the mirror or the tube to correctly track the path of light to the index card. For step number 8, you're supposed to go around your house and make a list of all the objects that allowed you to see your reflection. Here are some pictures of places I found my image reflected. The first was a spoon. Now my image might have been reflected upside down, but I could still see my image. The second was my television. The third was my microwave. And fourth, a brass plate on the door into the kitchen. You can clearly see my reflection. After you finished finding items in your home that showed your reflection, you were supposed to answer number 9 and 10. Number 9 asks, what do these objects, the ones that show your reflection, have in common? The objects which have reflective surfaces are all smooth, shiny, and relatively flat. Number 10, what is the way of making straight light rays bend called? And again, if you didn't know the answer, you could have gone to look at your keywords. And the correct answer was, the way of making straight light rays bend is called reflection. We are going to continue our investigation of how light travels. Objective, to observe the bending of light by refraction. Keyword, refraction. Materials, 2 clear cups. They can be plastic or glass if your parents allow, but they should be clear and relatively the same size. Two pencils. In my experiment images in this slideshow, you're going to see these 2 pencils being used. But actually, if you use a smaller sharpened pencil, you will actually be able to see what you need to see in the experiment better. And you need water. Remember, if you do not have these materials, make the best predictions possible to answer the experiment questions. Step 1, fill 1 plastic cup or a glass cup like I used, half full of water and leave the other empty. So I've got my empty cup and my cup half full of water. Second step, place a pencil in the cup with water and another pencil in the cup without water. Again, in my demonstration images, I use these long unsharpened pencils, but again, you'll see your results better with a small sharpened pencil. So again, you just put the pencil in the cup with no water and a pencil in the cup with water. Step 3, observe the pencils from different angles. Be sure that for one of the angles, you look at the pencil with your eyes at the water level. And that means you are looking directly at where the water level is even with your eyes. Now, I wouldn't recommend moving the cup. You should actually have the cup on the table and move your head and body to see it at that level. Step 4, draw a side view of what you saw when you looked at the pencil in the cup of water and what you saw with a pencil and empty cup. So again, you're going to draw 2 cups, and then you're going to draw what the pencil looked like in each cup when you viewed it from eye level. For the next slide, number 5 says, write down observations you see of the pencil in the 2 different cups. So what you drew, you're now going to write in words for number 5. For number 6, you need to write down what causes the pencil to look different. Think about what are the difference between these 2 cups? What caused the pencil to look different? Number 7 says this strange effect occurs because light is bent when it leaves the water and goes into the air. What is this type of bending light called? Hint, look at today's key word for this lesson. Once you finish with the experiment, the next slide for number 8 says to click on the link below to take you to Study Jams. Once on Study Jams, click the green button that says Play Video. After watching the video, click on the blue button that says Test Yourself to see how well you understand how light travels. So again, when you click on this link, it will take you to the Study Jams website. Once at the Study Jams website, you're going to click Play Video. You're going to watch the video. After you watch the video, you can press Close, and then here's the blue button that says Test Yourself. Click on that and answer the questions. The last 2 slides contain reading passages that provide important information about yesterday and today's experiments. Number 9 says, read the passage below on reflection. Highlight essential information. The path of light reflection. So you're going to read this text, and then you're going to use the highlighting tool, which is this one here, highlight color, I'm going to use yellow because that's what we normally used in class. And then for all the essential information, you might think luminous object, since it's bold, needs to be highlighted. And then you can continue doing that throughout this text. And same for number 10. Read the passage below on refraction. Highlight essential information. So again, read the path of light refraction. Once you finish reading, go back and highlight the essential information. Remember to take your time with this experiment, and I look forward to seeing your results at our next lesson.